G'day everyone, I'm the Red Scar and this is Red Scar Gaming. Today is my summary of this mid-range deck that I ultimately didn't have a lot of success with. I lost 3 games, won 1, and I'm afraid the one that I did win, due to technical issues, I couldn't actually publish that one on YouTube. That was the word I'm looking for. Yeah. Just a quick summary of it. It's very much like 3 turns. On the third turn is where I focus everything. There's a little bit of control, though not a huge amount, and there's a few like outriders that is ultimately my win condition, I suppose, and a few flyers. But yeah, anyway, summary of all this. So yeah, Viashino Branch Rider in this particular round of draft, he didn't do terribly well. There was game 4, was it, that I was able to trade with a very big creature, which to sort of oversimplify it, paid 6 mana, destroy target creature, but I mean I ultimately could only do that once. Because he gets +2/+0, not +2/+2. Maybe I shouldn't have had him in the deck. Yeah, just because he's while he can do something straight away, it's not terribly effective. And particularly seeing that I'm trying to last long enough, maybe I shouldn't have had him in this deck. I've had a lot of success with him before, but yeah, maybe just not this time. Essence Scatter, I don't think I got to use that at all, which it probably would have been a bit better had I been able to use it. But yeah, I didn't get. I don't think I got any opportunity to use it actually. Impede Momentum was probably the one card that I was a bit surprised on how effective it was, because it's basically it's not quite destroy target creature, but it is take out target threat for 3 turns. It can be very effective, and I think it went pretty well in this deck, despite not winning very much. Impulse, I did get to use. I think it was twice in the one game actually. Game 2 maybe. That look, it's always a good card, but you do have to have something good to draw, which sort of in hindsight, I don't really have anything that goes, oh yeah, that's the one I want in this deck. Thrill of Possibility I only used once. It was good in that particular situation, but yeah, look, I didn't really need the extra draw, at least in that particular situation. Yevimaya Steel Crusher, I didn't really get to use it to its best. Not so much because it's a bad card or anything, just because the enlist I got to use once, I think, which was ultimately just sort of sacrifice it for destroy target creature, sort of. And I didn't get to use the destroy target artifact, which I mean, look, is just bad luck, I suppose. There's nothing really bad about it. It's a good card. I'll take it again. I definitely wouldn't have used 2 of them in this particular deck. Soaring Drake, I certainly got to use a few times. In fact, it won me. Yeah, it essentially won me game 1. I really wish I could have recorded that, but yeah, technical issues. I probably shouldn't have had 4 in the hindsight of it, because there's enough. It is a flying creature, but it's not big enough to get through a lot of flying creatures. So if the situation's right, Soaring Drake is excellent, but it just wasn't good enough this time. So maybe 4 was too many. Urtai's Scorn, I did get a bit of use out of, that there was nothing particularly potent that I countered in this particular case. There was a few times that I certainly kept the game going 1 turn longer or something, but it didn't win me anything. I'll go with it again, certainly. But yeah, it didn't do terribly well in hindsight, so maybe I shouldn't have had it in this deck. Vidalian Mindslinger, I actually got a lot of use out of, considering I've only got one copy of it. I think I used it 3 games. Maybe that's why I lost. So I did kick it once every time, if memory serves. And yeah, that gained me control of something useful. It's a lot of mana, though, for something that can be easily taken back. So yeah, maybe I shouldn't have taken it. I didn't really base my tactics around it, which I'm happy about. But yeah, I didn't get a great use out of it. Automatic Librarian, I'm still happy with that card. It once again, it didn't win me any games, and certainly didn't let me press an advantage or anything like that. But for something that can set you up for the next 2 turns, or rid you of a problem for the next 2 turns, it is a very good card, and I still like it. Still a big fan of it. I'm pretty glad I had 3. Maybe I should have had 2, but yeah, we'll figure that out. I didn't get to use Dragon Whelp at all, so yeah, I suppose it's just I might have done better if I played it, but yeah, I just didn't see it. Mirror's Outrider can be very good. Does that little extra damage, but that's not why it's in this deck. It's mainly the 4/4 reach part. There wasn't really anything that I probably should have taken instead of that. It's good. It certainly didn't win me any games though. The Molten Tributary I'm happy with. Crystal Grotto and the Tangled Islet. I'm very happy with the fact that I did splash the green, mainly for the use of say Branch Rider and or the Mindsinger. I didn't get to use the green mana though, which yeah, look, I'm ever so slightly disappointed that that didn't happen, but yeah, look, I think it was worth the risk. Crystal Grotto is pretty good for just the Scry 1, honestly. I don't think I got to fix my mana terribly often, but yeah, it's still a good card. As far as the sideboard, the Benalish Faithbinder, because I was almost able to do enlist sort of combat stuff for a little while during the draft, but I'm still glad I didn't keep that. I haven't seen it do very well in an enlist. Wow, that's a lot harder to say if you're Australian. Stall for Time. Maybe if I'd gone, because I could have actually splashed white as well as green, I suppose. And Stall for Time lets you potentially get one good attack in, even if you're not splashing blue, but I do have blue. I know it's not the most successful card and not the most popular card, but if you need it, it's a card that you can go for. Still not a big fan of Pixie Illusionist, because yeah, paying five mana for a 3/3 flyer is not great. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't use that at all. Coral Colony, maybe in hindsight I should have gone Coral Colony. Wow, I need to stop being Australian maybe. Yeah, instead of Essence Scatter would have perhaps worked. Just simply because I can sit there for a little while and defend better, drawing me the cards I needed maybe. Negate probably would have been better instead of Essence Scatter, and or Impulse. Probably Thrill of Possibility, even though that's maybe just a bit of luck rather than thinking it through. Academy Wall probably should have had that instead of maybe one of the Soaring Drakes or Urtai Scorn even. Not so much because of the drawing ability, but just simply so I can sit there for a little while and defend a bit, waiting to get my soaring drakes or whelps or something like that. Furious Bellow. Uh, I probably could have used that effectively, mainly for the first strike ability actually, rather than the +3 per se. But yeah, I probably could have used that on. I would have used it on the defensive, I think. Just thinking about what sort of situations I could have had. So yeah, maybe that instead of Urtai's Scorn or Soaring Drake or something. It's a bit difficult to, or maybe even Branch Rider. It's a little bit difficult to say. Oh yeah, should have done that now. But yeah, anyway. Goblin Picker. Yeah, that might have done better than say Branch Rider. Though, yeah, I can't really think of any time where I had too many cards in hand. So yeah, I don't know if I would have got to use it. Maybe instead of Steel Crusher, maybe. But yeah, look, it would have only been that once that I got a good use out of it. Smash to Dust does have its moments, but just in a draft, I don't see many opportunities where I could have used it. I think it was game 4 that my opponent did play defenders pretty well, so maybe in that particular circumstance it would have done well. But yeah, it's probably not worth putting in at least in this circumstance. Sprouting Goblin, seeing as I was splashing green, I did very much think about putting those in. Maybe I could have done with one instead of probably Steel Crusher, just because it has similar effect. And I think it was game 4 actually that I could have used its sack a land ability to draw some cards, but I don't think it would have helped in that particular circumstance. But it would have at least been something I could do. Broken Wings I'm always a big fan of, though I can't really think of any particular opportunity I would have got to use that. So in hindsight, I'm glad I didn't keep that. Deathbloom Gardener is sort of a weird card because it can be a really defensive card but you sort of don't want to sack it to some degree. So it's sort of a weird card. I'm not quite sure what my opinion is of it. For 3 mana, if it was 2 mana, I'd go every time. But yeah, 3 mana is just a bit tough. Rulik Mons. Yeah, I don't know if I would have got much use out of him, even if I had sort of gone a bit more green. 3/3 Menace. Yeah, I didn't have much opportunity to have big creature out. So yeah, if I'd put him in instead of Dragon Whelp, I might not have drawn him anyway. So yeah, it's a bit of bad luck there. Meteorite, I might have got a bit of use out of. It has its moments, but for 5 mana, it's a little bit too expensive maybe. 4 mana is definitely, I definitely would have kept it. It's like it's still a mana rock, so you get use out of it. But ultimately I lost 3 games. So yeah, hope you can learn from what I did or didn't do or should have done or whatever. And I'll see you next time.